Hello viewers. Welcome to our channel. In today's video we have brought you another new content. Before that you have subscribed to our channel. If you haven't subscribed now, click the bell icon next to it and give us support. Kindly watch until end of the video for more clarity. Let's start today's episode. Depression is a complex mental health condition that can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background. Here are some key points explaining why depression can impact anyone. Biological factors. Depression can be influenced by genetic predisposition. If you have a family history of depression, you may be at a higher risk. Brain chemistry. Imbalances in neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine can contribute to depression. These imbalances can occur in anyone. Stress and trauma. Life stressors, such as loss of a loved one or traumatic experiences, can trigger depression in anyone. Hormonal changes. Hormonal fluctuations, such as those during pregnancy, postpartum, or menopause, can make anyone susceptible to depression. Chronic illness. Dealing with a chronic illness or a major medical condition can lead to depression, affecting people of all ages. Substance abuse. Misusing drugs or alcohol can increase the risk of depression, and this behavior can affect anyone. Social isolation. Loneliness and social isolation are significant risk factors for depression, which can affect anyone who lacks social support. Gender differences. While depression is more commonly diagnosed in women, it can affect men as well, albeit often underreported due to societal expectations. Economic status. Financial hardship, unemployment, or poverty can contribute to depression in individuals from various economic backgrounds. Cultural and societal pressure. Expectations and societal pressures can lead to depression in people from diverse cultural backgrounds. Life transitions. Major life changes, such as divorce, retirement, or moving to a new place, can trigger depression in anyone. Personality traits. Certain personality traits, such as perfectionism or a tendency to ruminate on negative thoughts, can increase vulnerability to depression. Lack of access to care. Limited access to mental health care and stigma surrounding mental illness can prevent anyone from seeking help. Childhood adversity. Early childhood experiences, including abuse or neglect, can increase the risk of depression in adulthood. Peer pressure. Adolescents and young adults may experience depression due to peer pressure, bullying, or academic stress. Environmental factors. Living in a polluted or overcrowded environment can contribute to stress and increase the risk of depression. Chronic pain. People suffering from chronic pain conditions are more susceptible to depression. Lack of coping skills. Inadequate coping mechanisms to deal with life's challenges can make anyone prone to depression. Sleep disorders. Sleep problems, which can affect anyone, can lead to or exacerbate depression. Unrealistic expectations. Setting unrealistic goals and feeling like one constantly falls short can lead to a sense of hopelessness, affecting anyone. Lack of physical activity. A sedentary lifestyle can increase the risk of depression in individuals of all ages. Nutritional factors. Poor diet and inadequate nutrition can impact mood and increase the risk of depression. Medications. Certain medications can have depressive side effects, affecting anyone who takes them. Personality disorders. Conditions like borderline personality disorder can co-occur with depression in anyone. Lack of emotional support. The absence of a supportive network can lead to depression in people from diverse backgrounds. Global events. Large-scale events like pandemics or natural disasters can trigger depression in people worldwide. Seasonal changes. Seasonal affective disorder (SAD) can affect anyone during specific times of the year. Lack of self-care. Neglecting self-care practices can contribute to depression in anyone. Peer influence. Being around individuals who are depressed or have a negative outlook can impact one's own mental health. Lack of education. Not understanding the signs and symptoms of depression can prevent anyone from seeking help when needed. Difficulty concentrating. Trouble focusing, making decisions, or remembering things. Feelings of worthlessness. A sense of worthlessness or excessive guilt over minor issues. Irritability. Increased irritability and agitation, even over trivial matters. Physical symptoms. Unexplained physical symptoms like headaches or stomachaches. Withdrawal. Social withdrawal, avoiding friends and family. Crying spells. Frequent bouts of crying without an obvious trigger. Thoughts of death. Recurrent thoughts of death, suicide, or self-harm. Aches and pains. Unexplained physical aches and pains without a clear cause. Lack of productivity. Decreased work or school performance. Loss of libido. A decrease in sexual desire and interest. Diagnosing depression typically involves a thorough assessment by a qualified healthcare professional. Here are the steps and measures that are commonly taken for the diagnosis of depression. Clinical interview. A healthcare provider, often a psychiatrist, psychologist, or primary care physician, will conduct a detailed clinical interview. They will ask about the individual's medical history, family history of mental health conditions, and current symptoms. Open and honest communication is vital during this process. Physical examination. Although depression is primarily a mental health condition, a physical examination may be conducted to rule out any underlying medical issues that could be contributing to the symptoms. Mental status examination. This assessment evaluates cognitive and emotional functioning. It includes questions about mood, thought processes, perception, and memory. Diagnostic criteria. The healthcare provider will refer to established diagnostic criteria, such as the criteria in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders DSM-5, to determine if the individual's symptoms meet the criteria for a major depressive episode or another depressive disorder. Severity assessment. The severity of depression can vary from mild to severe. The healthcare provider will assess the severity of symptoms, as this can guide treatment decisions. Duration and persistence. Depression is diagnosed when symptoms persist for at least 2 weeks and significantly impact daily functioning. The healthcare provider will inquire about the duration and persistence of symptoms. Questionnaires and self-reports. Standardized depression assessment tools, such as the Patient Health Questionnaire 9PHQ-9 or the Beck Depression Inventory BDI, may be used. These questionnaires help quantify the severity of depression and monitor progress during treatment. Laboratory tests. Although not typically used for diagnosis, some healthcare providers may order blood tests to rule out medical conditions that can mimic depression, such as thyroid disorders or vitamin deficiencies. Psychological assessment. In some cases, psychological assessments may be conducted to gain a more comprehensive understanding of the individual's emotional and cognitive functioning. Differential diagnosis. The healthcare provider will consider other mental health conditions that may have overlapping symptoms with depression, such as anxiety disorders or bipolar disorder. Accurate diagnosis is essential for effective treatment. Collateral information. Information from family members, friends, or other caregivers may be sought to provide additional insight into the individual's symptoms and functioning. Certainly, here's the information on the measures taken for the diagnosis of depression presented in bullet points. Clinical interview. A comprehensive discussion with a healthcare provider to assess medical history, family history, and current symptoms. Physical examination. A checkup to rule out underlying medical issues contributing to symptoms. Mental status examination. Assessment of cognitive and emotional functioning, including mood, thought processes, and memory. Diagnostic criteria. Reference to established criteria, like DSM-5, to determine if symptoms meet criteria for a depressive disorder. Severity assessment. Evaluation of symptom severity, which guides treatment decisions. Duration and persistence. Checking if symptoms have persisted for at least 2 weeks and significantly impact daily life. Questionnaires and self-reports. Use of standardized tools like PHQ-9 or BDI to assess symptom severity. Laboratory tests. Blood tests to rule out medical conditions that mimic depression. Psychological assessment. In-depth evaluations to understand emotional and cognitive functioning. Differential diagnosis. Considering other mental health conditions with similar symptoms. Collateral information. Gathering input from family, friends, or caregivers for additional insight. Seeking help from a healthcare professional for an accurate diagnosis is essential for effective treatment of depression. Certainly, here's a more concise version: clinical interview, detailed discussion of medical history and current symptoms. Physical exam. Rules out underlying medical issues. Mental status exam. Assesses mood, cognition, and memory. Diagnostic criteria. Uses established guidelines like DSM-5. Severity assessment. Measures symptom intensity. Duration check. Ensures symptoms persist for at least 2 weeks. Questionnaires. Standardized tools for symptom assessment. Lab tests. Exclude medical conditions mimicking depression. Psychological assessment. In-depth emotional and cognitive evaluation. Differential diagnosis. Considers other similar conditions. Collateral information. Gathers input from family or caregivers for insight. Getting professional help is crucial for accurate depression diagnosis and effective treatment. Thanks. See you again in the next episode. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to this video and encourage us to bring more new content to you.